So it's leaked and rumoured that the next COD is returning to the glorious roots of the series, back to World War II. FPS games of this era have something of a renaissance lately, and that's all well and good, except that I can't help feeling that it's starting to become like finding a song you kept wanting to hear and then you can't stop listening to it. At first it's really good and you can't get enough of it, but it quickly burns out because of overexposure. Well, this World War II nostalgia is feeling like it's going to burn me out really soon. Battalion 1944 was the first game to really pique interest in this sphere, but since then it's been one World War II game after another, and there are more on the horizon. It's becoming less a niche gap to fill and more how many World War II games can you fit in a phone box. So anyway, back to COD. Now look, don't be cynical and just dismiss COD out of hand. It used to be good, alright? COD 4, World at War, Modern Warfare 2, for a time, they're all pretty reasonable games, and I know that they kept my attention for a long time, and it wasn't until the catastrophic failure that was the launch of Black Ops where I turned to almost full-time Battlefield player. Now, if you don't remember what happened at the launch of Black Ops, by the way, I will happily remind you. At launch, the game was basically unplayable. You couldn't stay in a party with friends, rounds would basically just end halfway through. It was a disaster zone. Treyarch would blissfully ignore this despite their website being actually crashed on a daily basis because so many people were trying to get on the forums to complain about it. As I remember it, there was a new topic to complain about this being started almost every minute at the time in that first week when it was like absolutely burning out, and they just couldn't get their website up. The amount of traffic from people trying to like complain about the absolute nightmare that was this game was just absolutely destroying it. But could this new iteration be actually a surprise to us all though? Could it be a down-to-earth, simplified game that focuses on solid core gameplay and a true return to the game's roots, instead of pandering to Mountain Dew swilling trolling assholes and squeaky voiced teens? Well, it could be, but let's be clear, this is an extremely remote possibility. In my lucid daydreams, I can imagine a situation where they actually realise that doubling down on how to make a game more ridiculous at every opportunity and moving out of its core genre focus is not a great idea, that playing to an audience that the rest of the gaming community find repulsive is a surefire way to turn away a large percentage of people, and that by failing to invest in your game's infrastructure or aesthetics for the longest time, that this might lead to ridicule. I imagine these things changing, but then again, it's Call of Duty, it's Activision, and I don't see any of this happening. Is it a possibility though, that they could take a bold move, that they could hit it out of the park and deliver an amazing, rock-solid title that gives Battlefield a black eye, while it's actually looking pretty weak at the moment? Yeah, it's a possibility. Now, I can't pin it down, but I get this strange feeling that something different could happen with this release, so I'm going to keep a closer eye on it than I would probably usually, just for my own curiosity if nothing else. Battlefield has lately been focusing a lot more on style than substance, and COD has never been a strong one when it comes to style. Almost unbelievable how long they stuck with the same graphics engine. If COD could implement a solid server infrastructure, awesome map design, a simplified weapon and loadout and perk system more akin to COD 4 than any of the Modern Warfare and Black Ops titles, then, you know, they could really be onto something. Now imagine if they brought back the brutality of World at War with its terrifying attack dogs, body-crushing artillery, and actually pretty good map designs. COD is never going to be anything other than a casual shooter, that's the nature of the game, but as casual shooters go, if they just leaned more towards their roots and less away from the horrific nightmare that the game has become, it wouldn't be out of the realms of the imagination that it could surprise everybody. Now to be clear, the glory days of COD 4 are gone. You're not going to get that back, because believe it or not, back when COD 4 was out, people did actually play the game with some semblance of team focus. It's why I enjoyed it. But hilariously, my original COD 4 clan actually had an application process similar to that of the BSO one that I run now, with rules, regs, practice time, so forth. It was pretty disciplined. So the thought of someone having a clan like that in COD now, unless it was competitive, just seems very laughable. So what do I want to see this COD game do? What would I like to see? Well, I'd like to see them take a brave move. This series has become the definition of playing it safe, just pandering to its stock audience, milking that fat and old cash cow. But that cow is getting way too old now for milk, and they need to change it up. They need to do something amazing. Make a game which steps out of your comfort zone, that brings us back to awesome looking, well designed World War II maps, and maybe, just maybe, simplifying the game enough so that, like COD 4, you allow the gameplay to speak for itself without becoming saturated with all the subsidiary crap that is just basically veneer. This is becoming all the norm now, and it's ever more frustrating. People want good gameplay. That's the core reason why people play games. Good gameplay means good fundamental elements. It means solid server structure and netcode. It means a well thought out but detailed approach to weapons and progression systems. And it means making a solid decision on what you want the game to be and sticking to it. Do you want it to be a casual fest blast 'em up like Star Wars Battlefront, or do you want it to be a point of sale marketing experiment like past Call of Duty games, and sadly what Battlefield is actually starting to become? Or do you want it to become a solid game with a team-centric focus that delivers a classic experience that brings in hardcore and casual players alike? Let's wait and see. Tell me what you guys think about the next World War II era iteration of COD and what it's going to be like.